It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy. Coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, go, go. Dig, dig, dig. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Okay, we'll go Nate, Jeff, Dustin.
Nate Ryan, USA Day. Following up on Reed's question there, Jimmy. How much does it put your mind at ease when it's raining like this for the second straight week and you know you're going to get not just the first starting spot but that first pit stall? And two, at this track, is there a big difference between picking first and 10th in terms of pit stall selection?
Yeah, huge difference from first to 10th. From first to second, there's probably more of a difference here than anywhere we go. I mean, I'd say Bristol would be would be maybe second in that ranking, but it's a huge advantage to have the first stall here. So, and I tried throughout the day. Knew that it was going to rain over the last couple of days. If it happens, great. But I'm mentally trying to prepare for being on track and doing our job. We were testing Wednesday, trying to get prepared for being here and getting that first pit stall pick and qualifying on poles. So, you know, we've been working all week like we're going to qualify today, and still, even when I was getting close to the track, I see the rain and started relaxing. I'm like, don't do it. Just stay focused. You got to be on track and be prepared for that, because if we get a small window and NASCAR gets each car on track and we get 3 or 4 laps, we'll qualify, and I need to be prepared and make sure that I do my job.
Jeff, Dustin, and Ryan.
Jeff Gluck from NASCAR Scene. Jimmy, earlier this week, Robin Pemberton said that there won't be any changes to the car next year. I know a lot of people were really wanting that, or especially in the early part of this year. Are you okay with that going into next year, that there won't be any changes?
You know, I think a lot of us have some ideas for changes, and we'd like to see them put in. I feel that as the season's gone on, we've all gotten a lot smarter and we've helped the car. But there still are some things that I feel should be looked at and considered. I didn't hear that word yet, but it doesn't mean much because I usually don't pay attention, especially during the chase. I'm just kind of focused on racing the car itself. But I was hopeful that something would change there, definitely. So new news to me, and at least we're putting on good shows. The cars are easier to drive in traffic. We have some boundaries with the rear ends being skewed and some of the things where teams found some easy speed at the start of the season. And you know, the racing's going well on the big tracks. I still think it could be better, but you know, I guess it's staying the same. Yeah, there's a fine balance, and you know, these are my opinions. I'm sure you speak to other drivers and engineers. There'll be plenty of other opinions, but the car is so big and punches such a large hole in the air. We need to get back some mechanical grip. The aero grip is what it is, and we have much less, and the cars are much more sensitive today than the old car. But where we are with this car, we can't go back. We can't go back to the old car. We can't make the greenhouse smaller. We can't do that. You'll run teams right out of business. So we need to find ways to put mechanical grip back in the car. I think allowing the front of the cars to travel further would lower the center of gravity height, bring some more grip in the car, plus help the aero platform of the car. That would be one of the first moves I'd make, is to let us travel the front ends of the cars more.
Dustin, and then Ryan.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Jimmy, what kind of an adjustment is it for you to be older than some of these competitors nowadays, and you're even older by as much as a decade as some of these guys? And how does that experience help, and where do you feel, and how much experience do you still have to gain on somebody like a Jeff Burton, Greg Biffle, who got some years on you?
And experience is everything. I still feel like I'm learning more and more each year, and learning how to deal with our sport, challenges in it, and the experience really has done a lot for me. So I'm happy to be where I'm at, and I feel the next 2 or 3 years I'll be even stronger and better as time goes on. So I'm for it. It's crazy to hear that I could be a decade older. You've got my mind going now. I'm going to try to figure that out. Is that true? 10 years older than somebody? Gosh, dang. Damn. It goes by fast. It was Young Gun not long ago. Now, Joey Logano, yeah, that one really hurts. I guess it hurts everybody to see that one. It's crazy, and I've been racing my whole life, and I felt like I was kind of slow and late to things, but truthfully, I feel showing up at the Cup level in my mid-20s was really a blessing in disguise. I showed up at the right time, had a lot of experience, and matured in a lot of ways. And I think watching some of these young guys come along, it's going to be challenging for them. Not saying it can't be done, but they're going to have other challenges that I didn't experience. So I'll take the experience, and I'd love to be competitive at 40 years old and racing for championships. And I really think it's possible.
Okay, we'll go Ryan and then Drew. Go.
Ryan Burry, ESPN. Jimmy, 3 out of 4 here, you seem to have a comfort level that other drivers talk about this place as wild card race and a race they just don't know what to expect. Why are you so comfortable here where you think other drivers aren't?
I feel like in the past, and I'm hoping it continues this weekend, I've been able to take my time. The first 20 laps on a set of tires, the field's very close, and then as the run goes on, tires give up, the rubber starts to lay down on the track, and there are more lines and options out there to pass than you would think. A lot of guys aren't creative enough to look for it and find it, and they're just stuck to the same rhythm, same line, and I could see that and know how I can adjust what I'm doing and find a way by. So after 20, 30 laps, I get into a rhythm and things just click and go well. And I can go on different parts of the track where guys are not, get position on them and work my way to the front. So the time I worry the most is that first 20 after a restart. And then once we get going into a part of the run, middle part of the run, I feel very comfortable and good about things. And this race is usually finished under a green-white checkered or some type of short sprint at the end, and I felt vulnerable in the past, and we worked hard on that this week to make sure we're good on the short run at our test. But the long run stuff in the middle of the race, I look forward to that, and I think we can put a bunch of cars a lap down, hopefully chase contenders, and get a cushion on these guys. And so I'm looking forward to a lot of green flag racing and hope we get it.
We'll go Drew, Gary, and Joe.
And the points at this stage, is your mind more at ease, or is it still kind of nerve-wracking knowing that everybody's coming after you, trying to come after you?
I'm really content with it this year. In the past, I probably have wanted to be in a different position and be in a close second or something and not have the pressure. But this chase, this team, the confidence we have in ourselves and what we've developed over the years, the experience we've been through over the years, has made me much more comfortable with where we are today. And I'm excited to be in the lead and hopeful and enjoy the idea of trying to control this thing and feel that we have a chance of doing that. So if we just keep going out and executing, I think it will take care of itself. But a year ago, leading the chase at this point, I would have been pretty nervous. And right now, I'm pretty excited about it.
We'll go Gary Graves, Joe Menzer, David Newton. Gary's here on the front row.
Gary Graves, USA Today. If you can reflect back on the time that you were behind a couple of years ago, what was your mindset when you're that far behind and you're starting to run out of races? I mean, do you start thinking, okay, I can get a lot of them back at this race? How steady was it? And you look at Carl and his situation. I mean, is it out of reach for him now?
I wouldn't say out of reach. The thing that takes place is you feel like you lose control of your own destiny. I mean, if you're within 50, 80 points, you can race your way. You can go out and win races and run in the top 5 and control your own destiny that way. Especially leading the championship, you can control it that way. If you're outside of that, especially as you lose the events to go gain points at, you have to start counting on other people having bad luck. And your odds change dramatically if you have one guy in front of you, if you have 4 cars in front of you, wherever you fall in there, you've got to count on other people having bad luck. And in 06, that happened to us. We were way behind. Guys had a lot of bad luck, and they let us back into it, and then we had a shot at it. And that's, you hate not being in control. That's really where I would assume Carl's at and some of those other guys are at, is that, if we run like we think we will, they can't go out and just outperform us by a spot or 2 each week and win the championship. So that's the reality that you start facing.